Welcome back. This is Sweets, and today's video is for developers, software engineers, and programmers. If you are not one of those three, please keep scrolling. This content is not for you. Now, we're joined today with Arthur Sweetman. Arthur, welcome to the show.
Hello.
So, Arthur, I'm going to hand it off over to you. We'll stop my sharing, and you can take over, and then you can explain kind of what we're working on today.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Can you see it?
I can see it.
Okay. So today we're working on this dashboard. Our goal is to fill in this visualization here on the right. Right now it's just a placeholder. And what this is going to be is right what it says there. We want to show the musician the top 5 ways fans have discovered their Alexa skill. And we're doing that by them sending out links on their different social media platforms, and that link will take them to a page that essentially takes them step by step on how to use their skill. And we're using that click as a determinant for that person figuring out or discovering that musician's skill. And so today we're setting up those links. We're setting up the data collection into Firebase. I think that's the overarching goals for today. So
Cool. Let's get started. I am taking back screen share so Arthur can see my screen. All right, now I've got it. You can see my screen, Arthur?
Yep.
And as you can see right here, if you're watching the live stream, Arthur is also in our live share on the code, so he's able to program even though he's in a different city from me. We're going to both be coding inside of this at the same time. If you want to learn more about live share, just run a Google search for VS Code live share. So step one in what we're doing, we need to add a wildcard route because we want the page to be updated based off of the musician that someone's searching. I don't know how to do that, so we're going to have to run a Google search, but I know the first thing we're going to want to do is copy the route. And now this route has an exact path, but we don't want it to be an exact path. So I don't know how to change that. We'll look it up in a sec, but what we want kind of the end to be is we want a wildcard of musician, and then we want a wildcard of social media. So kind of anywhere that they go, if they go 2 levels deep, and if they have musician as well as social media, we want it to display our component, and we are going to import a new component which does not yet exist, and I copied 2 lines. And we're going to call that component social media discoverability. Social media discoverability. And I'm going to copy that so that that is also the name of the component. All right, and that will be right there as well. And it says it's not being referenced, so let's make it referenced. Boom. All right, so now we need to figure out how to actually get this route active. I'm going to get started by running my server locally to make sure that what we're doing right now does not work. So that way we know that we're actually making these changes. npm run start to start the local server, and I'm not in the right folder, so I'll go into musician website. npm run start starts your local React server. And let's see how fast the computer is today. Cool. Decent. Can I use light? I'm trying to remember who uses that. Is that Samir or is that you, Arthur?
What's that?
Can I use?
Where is it? Where are you looking at? Oh, no, that's not me.
Okay. All right. Server is still starting, so actually seeming a little bit slow. Using a 5-year-old computer, and we're live streaming and we're in a meeting hangout with Arthur, who's in a different city, and we also have a live share open in our code, so there's a lot of bandwidth being used, a lot of the processing power. My computer feels pretty warm, but just give us the web browser, please. I guess while it's working on loading, I don't know if I should be slowing it down more by looking it up, but let's look up wildcard route React router, I guess. Match wildcard as a parameter. Let's see what this says. How we looking? Still loading? We're still loading over here. You got this, computer. Files folder, path files /star. Okay. You'll need to use it like so. Route, a name of the route, path, files /star. And then in your React component, you can access the values of the splat. What is the splat? I guess splat is the star. And then you can also do this .props.match param 0 maybe. The star in the path match gets assigned to this .props.params.splat. So that's where it gets. And I'm just going to verify that by looking up splat React. And we should see something related to alright, let's give this one a try and see if it works. So are we still loading? Oh wow, come on computer, you can do it. Oh wow. Computing technology has come a long way and it still has so much more to go. Okay. We'll make it /social. That way we have one thing that's kind of hard-coded and we don't need exact.
Yeah.
And I also don't know if we need name like it says over there. And I guess instead of this it would be splat. So it would just be social star. And then anything else can be fed after that? Maybe? Learning.
Right. Yeah. One thing that you.
Hey, okay. Cannot resolve social media discoverability. Great. Okay. This is good. So what is the component we kind of want to copy to get started? Let's just copy the landing. Yeah, let's copy the landing page. Boop, boop. Now we have landing copy. We will rename this to social media discoverability. And now we can delete music navigation from here. Delete that. And inside of here, we want to rename this to social media discoverability.js. We should no longer have that error. Cannot resolve social media discoverability. I don't know if
Because it's named home. It's named home. It's named home in social media discoverability.js.
Ah, you mean down here?
And in the class name, it's export class home extends component instead of export class
Good
social
catch.
media discoverability.
Good catch. Cool. Good catch. Did you already make? No.
I haven't, no.
You can make those changes if you want.
Yeah, you're already writing it. Didn't want to write the whole thing.
Okay.
So you can copy and paste.
//landing /music navigation. Update that reference. Let's see what we got now. Okay. Okay, we still can't resolve. Is it just because you have not reloaded? Module not found. Can't resolve components in musician, yeah, website SRC. All right. So for now, let's just comment this out and get it running. Let's go back to main.js. We'll
We
comment
could just
out
delete
this.
everything and just have the base class that someone could have. Make sure.
Say that again.
So we could just delete all the code and just have a base class.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. If you want to delete all the code, that'll work. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. The website is now loaded. So I'm going to try to go /social / Mal Vimu, one of the #1 musician in the world, / Twitter. And this should give us a blank page because we don't have anything here yet. Nothing there.
All right.
Cool.
Saving something. Saving it. Save it.
So now you've saved your thing. Now let's uncomment the route as well as this. And now if I save, are we ready to save? Let's check your code. Render, return null. Let's see what it tells us. Let's see if this is all good. Fingers crossed. And maybe next thing we'll do, okay, it looks like no errors. So maybe the next thing we can do is just alert welcome to the social media page when the component is
Component did mount.
yes. Does component did mount exist? I'm trying to remember. Some of the websites we use the component did mount and other ones we don't.
This one has it. Yeah.
We do use that? Okay, so let's let's go component. Why'd you do that? Component did mount. Boop 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 boop. Then what do we go? Alert. Hello world. I don't know if I did this right. Where else do we have a component did mount? Maybe in the profile. Do we have a component did mount here? Component did mount. Hey, okay. So
Cool.
we got a hello world here. Let's see if we go to profile, if we still get that profile. No alert. What if we go to just social? If we just go to social, we don't get anything. If we go to social / malvimu, no Twitter, we get the hello world. Okay, so if it's just social, it'll still, it won't give us that alert. So, but it will do it if it's anything after that.
Literally anything after that will do it.
Literally anything, yeah. So that this wild card right here means anything that's after that, it will redirect to this component.
Okay.
So how do we want this to be set up for the end musician? Trying to think, what is a link that we want to give a musician that they can put on all their social media platforms?
I mean, I like how you had it like /musician / Twitter, Facebook, whatever.
Musician. And this kind of says you're going to a specific musician.
Whatever, like what the musician's name, so Malvimu or Guitar.
Okay, sure. Sure. Yes. Even before that part of the URL, what do we want to precede all of that? Because every single musician will have this prefix on it. So I'm trying to think what the prefix is that's going to benefit the musicians the best.
Well, I guess this is the link they're sending out to all their fans. So, are we going to want to populate that page with? I'm guessing we will want to populate that page with like steps on how to like use the skill, just like an overview.
Agreed. Yes, that sounds perfect.
So /
I'm thinking musicians. / What'd you say?
Nothing. Never mind.
I'm thinking either musicians or get started or
Get started. I like that.
You like get started?
Yeah.
Get - started. Okay, we'll do the get started for now, and if we decide to change that, it'll be an easy fix. This is a premium feature, so this feature will only be available for pro musicians on the Alexa for Musician platform. All basic musicians will not have access to this. So now
Are you talking about the visualization or the functionalities in general?
the functionality in general.
Okay.
Yeah, the functionality in general. So now we will go back over here, and now if we refresh this, there should not be any alert message. It's refreshed, no alert. So now let's try to go to get-started / Malvimu, and now we get that hello world alert. Okay, so step 1 was add a wildcard route, and we've done that. And we also, I think, did step 2 of creating the social media discoverability component. Before I check that second box saying the social media discoverability component, I'm going to make a commit. And while I'm making that commit, Arthur, do you think you can put, do you think you can add the landing? You know how they all have the nav bar?
Yeah, I can put that up there.
Yeah, if you can put the music navigation component inside, I'm going to make the commit to main.js, and that's it.
Okay.
I almost don't want to crash the server. I'm not going to crash the server because I don't want to wait for it to restart, so I'm just going to open up another terminal that we'll use for all of our commits. Here's our second terminal. Interactive album, music can. Now, get status. Get add. Wait, why didn't it? Oh, there's main.js. I didn't want to add that. Git remove. Remove a change from being committed. Dang it.
Am I good to save this?
Yeah.
Or will that mess up your commit?
No, if you're about to save it, then I'll include this in the commit. I was trying to undo me adding this. Have you already saved it? Nope, it looks like you just saved it. Awesome. Awesome. And I remember at one point you were talking about how some of them had different words up top than the others.
Yeah, I think it's just the leaderboard page.
Leaderboard's the only one with different things?
I believe so.
So I'm also real quick, because we've I think kind of locked in on the Alexa for musicians, so I think I'm going to change this to Alexa for musicians. Let's make that branding stronger.
Wait, yeah, you're in I did make a navbar component, and just so it's standardized across all pages.
Okay.
If you change it there, that I referred to that
navbar?
component. Navbar, yep.
Cool. Okay, awesome. So this is what I should be changing.
Yes.
Okay. So now what is this one over here on landing?
That's how I copied and pasted that one over here. They're the same thing.
There we go. Okay, so now it says Alexa for musicians, which is great.
Yeah, I haven't changed all the other pages to have just the simple reference to navbar. Most of them is how they were before.
So landing, what does landing have?
Landing should have its own separate code right now. I mean, I don't think it'll be too hard to change it from.
Okay, yeah, we should have it all reference. How long would it take for us to do that? So how are you referencing that navbar component? Where's an example?
Go to social media discoverability.
Go to social media discoverability. Oh,
Yeah,
that's it. That's super simple.
That's it.
That handles all of it. That handles that handles all of it. So even on the mobile screen, it does the drawer as well as this the top navbar up here.
Yeah, I mean, however we set it up in the navbar component, it'll be on it.
We should throw this in a couple more places. Can we check to make sure?
The only thing is, I have been looking at it. The only thing is that it uses React MDL,
Okay.
and it's within its own layout tag. and like other places like the landing page, continue that layout tag, like that layout tag past this part right here.
Yeah.
So like I don't. That's the only thing.
Have you seen any issues with that on your profile?
I just haven't tried. I haven't tried much with it. I've never put too much effort into changing other things.
Have you referenced it anywhere besides the page you just created?
I haven't changed any other pages. I have the reference on the dashboard. So if you go to
that hasn't
home,
merged with master yet.
if you go home and then home, yeah, I have. If you go to home in home.js,
Okay.
score that right there. I've got an
Okay. Well, yeah, let's Okay, I'm getting away from the mission, so we'll ignore it for now. I'm getting pushback from you, so we'll do it, I guess, later.
Yeah. So what are we doing?
Let's see what we got over here. Go back to the getting started page. We got the alert, and now we've got the nav bar. So now I'm just making a commit message. Get status. Get add musicians src, and then main get commit -m. I initialize social media discoverability component with wildcard route. And now we will get add musician AI src components navbar get commit -m. I update navbar branding to Alexa for musicians. Get push origin suites social media discoverability. All right, so now we've pushed up those changes. We have added the wildcard route. We've created the social media discoverability component. Next step, we need to figure out how to retrieve data from the URL. Now, they said we can retrieve the data from the URL. I closed it. They said we can do it with Splat. How to retrieve Splat URL React. And they say we can do it by saying this.props.params.splat. So let's try adding that into our code. And we need to import props, I believe, because I don't think we've done that yet. So how do we do that over here in profile? We have a constructor with props, and then we import it like that. So we'll do the same thing here.
Should that be in the social media discoverability component, or should that be in the main component?
Which main component are you talking about?
Or main.js.
Main.js is where all of our routing information is.
What?
Main.js is where all of our routing information is.
Yeah, I didn't know if since this has the routing information, this is where we should be putting the information on which would like the route to reference, the correct route to reference. I'm not exactly sure what does the props thing that you just said do exactly.
So all components have to import props, otherwise we can't access the props.
Yeah, but what are we trying to access the props for? Like in that Stack Overflow,
to be able to get splat. We're trying to get param splat from the props.
Okay. Do you know what param splat is? Yeah.
No, I'm learning about this with you right now.
Okay.
And I don't like vars, so we'll go const. And now alert hello world from plus path. Let's see what we get. What you give, what you give, what you give. Cannot read property splat of undefined. Okay. So
Do we have to import it from somewhere?
import.
Is splat something that is imported?
You're asking a great question. Wildcard route react. Currently trying to figure out how to access the wildcard. Let's check this out. Let's go to their documentation. Valid array of paths. Retrieve path name React. Get full current path name. That's all that I want. This dot props dot location. You have to get the location as a prop in your React component that are matched against a route. Gives only the routing path. Window.location.href. This might be what we want. Window.location.href. Let's see what that does. Ah, was that it? Hello world from localhost get started malvimu. So now we have the full path, and now I just want to retrieve the data from URL. So I want to filter so that we just get the name of the musician and the name of the social media. So next step is const musician equals something, which we don't know yet, and then we've got const social media equals this, which is going to be something else. So now we want to trim down the location that we get. We want to trim, okay, thank you. We want to trim down this location, the path, to just get the musician and to just get the social media. So I believe this will want to go path dot substring from path dot index of social. What, no, it's get started. Get hyphen started plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 plus 11. And now let's see what happens if we just alert plus musician. Okay, that didn't update it, but do another load. There we go. So now we just have / malvimu. So I want to increase it by one more, and then it should not have the / and we should just have malvimu. So I'll make it 12. And I got 12 by just counting how long get started is, because this index will return the starting index. So I just had to add 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I just had to count it out. And there's malvimu. And then the question is how to get, so musician will be from there. And then if we have the full path of what we're going to be giving musicians, which will be their name, plus a social media like LinkedIn. So
Okay.
now we get this. So from the musician, we want to get the index of the /, and then we want to grab what's after the / to get the... actually, I think we can just split it. And
Oh,
then-
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
JavaScript split at /.
Split method.
So if we split it there, res should be an array. Yeah, it turns it into an array. So we will go...
So musician is that array bracket 1,
Yes.
and then the social media is the array bracket 2.
Exactly. So I'm going to make this super long dot split. This might be too much. I might be overcomplicating it. / Boop. And now this should be path 0.
And that's 0, yeah.
And then this should be path 1. And now when we alert musician, it should alert just Malvimu. Let's see what you got. I might be trying to do too much on that variable assignment. Cannot access path. Oh, I'm referencing it. I'm referencing path. So we, instead of path, we want to directly put this in there. Boop.
Yeah.
Inception. Okay.
We can get rid of the substring now
Why?
because we're splitting it into an array anyways. So get started will be the first element.
Mm-hmm.
Musician will be the second element. Social media will be the third element. It'll just make the code shorter.
Ah, heard. Great idea. Great idea. So no more substring. We're just going to split. That's a great idea. Because then even if we change the path and it's no longer get started, if we make it social, it'll still apply because it'll still be the same number of elements. That's very smart. Good work. And now after this alert, we'll do social hello from musician plus at plus social media. So now we should have both of those components, just both of those variables. Womp womp. Hello from blank at localhost 3000. All right, so let's console log what path is. That way we can see what the actual array is that we're getting, because that did not work as we thought. Oh, there are 2 / in the beginning. href // right? HTTP, or maybe not here, but let's see what we're getting. We might be messing with ourselves doing this on localhost and then trying to build it for...
True.
Array
True.
6.
But if it's always
There it is. So we got HTTP, and then it should be // localhost 3000 / get started / Malvimu / LinkedIn. So we want elements 4 and 5.
Okay. That won't change after localhost. It'll just change that second element from localhost to alexaformusicians.com.
Exactly. And the
Because it'll still be-
HTTP will be changed to HTTPS.
Yeah. So 4, 5, save.
Yeah, let's see what we get. And there we go, Malvimu at LinkedIn. And now if I change this to Twitter, now we've got Malvimu at Twitter. If we change this to Facebook, Now we've got Malvimu at Facebook. Great. So let's make another commit. Git status, git add add musician website, src, components, social media discoverability, git commit -m. I retrieve params musician and social media from URL path.
Now, do we care to control? Because right now, anything can be put at the end of those two forward slashes.
Yeah.
So if someone went up there and said /Malvimu / blah blah blah, then in Firebase it will record they came from blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Do we care? Would it be too much time and effort right now to try to control that?
So, two thoughts. One is we don't know all the social medias that are going to come out in the future, and we also don't know all the minor ones that musicians are already using around the world. We're very biased being here based out of Ohio and thinking of the social medias that we are. So half of me doesn't want to limit it. That way the data can be more free based off of what is actually being created. And the other half of me is with you. We want to limit the data. We want to create more boundaries around what musicians are allowed to do. And we should put like an array of const social media array equals Facebook, comma, LinkedIn, comma, Twitter, comma, TikTok, comma, YouTube, comma, Instagram. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. And then we just check if social media is not inside of this array, don't do anything.
Yep.
Should our philosophy be to build it in with more limitations at the start, or should our philosophy be to create more freedom at the start in terms of data collection? Do we want our data to be more refined? Would we rather the data to be more accurate, or would we rather have more data? As the data scientist, I'm open to your thoughts in terms of which philosophy you think is better around data collection.
I think you're right. At the start, especially, to record every single, link. I mean, they'll only be sending out links that are proper, that have / their musician name / whatever social media outlet they're sending it to.
Yeah, we'll be sending this in an email to the musician.
Right. I mean, the only time this might be messed with is if someone else types in a typo. They try to type in the URL by themselves, and they make a typo, and it records, Twitter without the E or something. But that wouldn't happen very often, and even when it does happen, you're right, it would still be good to have that data point, because if we look at it, we'd be easily be able to tell that came from Twitter.
Okay.
Now, the only other thing I'm thinking about is how we would be able to track from this if that person has been to... Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just thinking. So every single time anybody clicks anything, whether it's Malvimu / Twitter, Malvimu / Facebook, or it's I / Twitter, that all goes to one single page.
Exactly.
Is there going to be a unique page for each musician?
Not really. I mean, it will look unique, because what we'll do down here in our render method is we'll say h1, and we'll put in here the musician. So we'll save this to state, and we'll populate the page with their path information. Yeah,
Right,
artist,
right.
artist, exactly. So down here we'll say this dot set state artist is going to be musician, and then social media is going to be social media, and then yep, perfect, thank you. And now down here we will have musician inside of curly braces. So now the page itself should update. Oh, we need to have it all inside of one. How do you do it over in?
I think you just need a semicolon there, maybe.
It's not the semicolon. There's two components
Oh,
that it's
yes,
returning.
you put in a div.
Is that how you do it over on profile or home?
That's how we've done it everywhere, yeah.
Okay.
What'd I do?
I did it. No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
You're doing everything perfect. Save it whenever you're good, and let's see how it looks. Musician is not defined. Oh, can you change it to this dot state? I think I want to change how we're doing setting of state right now, to how we're doing it in. Maybe I'm thinking of voice dry cleaner. Where's our?
I bet it's behind the nav bar.
You think it's behind the nav bar?
Yeah.
How do?
Let me comment out the nav bar real quick.
Well, how do we do that over in the other pages?
Not exactly sure. I've always had trouble with layout and stuff.
No, it's not there.
No, it's just not showing up.
Ah, there is no this dot state dot musician.
Oh. Yeah.
Did you change it to artist?
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Now let's see if it's behind the nav bar.
Can we remove that alert?
Yeah.
Now it's starting to get annoying. Okay, there it is.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure. I'm not too knowledgeable on layout.
Alright, so I want to go to where's a good place where we're actually doing the stuff I like. I think some voiceover might have good stuff. Let's check voiceover.js. Voiceover recorder. Okay, we're using .set state. Is that really how we're doing it everywhere? Oh, okay, well I guess we're always setting state that way. Wow, I have too many projects. I forget which one we're doing. Okay, so this is how we're setting state. Let's check how we're displaying stuff in home. Home.js. What is main? No, okay, so this is what I was thinking of. This is what I was thinking of. I want to use this.
That's for a functional component, which we can do, but we have to split this up into two components.
Why do we have to split it up? I like functional
We
components.
can't use that kind of syntax in a class component. It doesn't, in my experience, it doesn't work anywhere.
What kind of syntax can we not use inside of a class component?
The artist, set artist equals use state.
Heard. I hear you that we can't do that in a class component. Can we just change this to a functional component? Or is there a downside to changing this to a functional component?
There's no component did mount lifecycle. There's no constructor.
Isn't there... Right, there's It's just different. There's don't we have
Or
user
at least
types?
it's different. Yeah. If we're going to put a lot of stuff in this render function,
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be a good idea anyways to split this up between a container component and a functional component. So like we have everything that goes on behind the scenes here, and then we have basically this entire render function within its own component somewhere else.
Okay.
That's what I did on the home page.
Yeah.
Like I have the home container, which does all the data manipulation,
Mm-hmm.
and then all it does is call it home.js,
Mm-hmm.
send it all the props,
Okay.
and it displays it how I want.
Okay. Well, let's do that. Where are we at right now? Retrieve data from URL. I believe we've already made that commit. I'm gonna check. I retrieved params. Yep. So we've already retrieved the params from the URL. The next step is to save the data to Firebase. So let's go ahead and keep working down saving the data to Firebase, which we should
Okay.
also do inside of component did mount, right?
Yep.
Okay. So have we imported Firebase? We have not, and we don't need this link. So let's figure out what we need to do to import Firebase. Where's somewhere that we do import Firebase? I want to say create musician. The create artist component should have Firebase imported.
Home container does. Here, I got it.
You got it? Okay, I'll let you do it.
I believe.
And now I'm going to copy.
Yep, that should be right.
I have a reference to Firebase right here, so we can go like this. And now we can tweak this to make it what we want. Database.collectionmusicians.doc. We don't need to use state here. We can use...
Where'd you get this from?
I copied it from create artist. So it's we don't need this first check. If doc.exists is the only one that we care about.
This is using this is creating the artist, I believe.
It is, right. I just wanted a basic outline.
Oh, because you're creating, what are you creating? We're creating a new field, aren't we?
So let's take this. We don't, if the doc does not exist, then it's a musician that hasn't been created, so we don't care to do anything if the doc does not exist, right?
It means
So what I'm asking
it means
is
they're the
if
first
they
person to go to.
if
I
someone
think it means
goes
they're
to
the first person to go to that link.
alexamusitions.com/getting-started/Drake. Drake does not exist in our database, so this doc will not exist. And if someone tries to go to Drake, we don't care to save any data, or do we still want to save data even if the musician hasn't been created to be able to have that data?
If they're the first one to the page, we want to create the doc.
Okay, so we don't even care if doc does not exist. We don't care if the doc exists or not.
Yeah, I think it's the same. I think we do some kind of update. Well,
Yes,
do we need
I
to? Is
agree
there a
with
special syntax to create the doc versus simply add an observation to it?
I think update should work for both.
Okay.
I'm going to look that up right now. Firestore update. Let's see what it says.
Add data to cloud files.
Control F update.
Just create or override a single document. You can use set override.
What'd you say?
I was thinking about set, but it said that overwrites it, which isn't what we want.
Set will override it unless we throw in the merge flag. Because you can do set and then you can say merge is true, and that will merge the data instead of, it will avoid overwriting entire documents.
Okay.
So I want to say update was created as a way to do this merge flag in an easier way. Instead of saying set with merge all the time, we could just do
Yep.
update.
Yep.
to update some of the fields without overriding the entire document. You can set a field which tracks when the server receives the update. Update fields nested. I guess let's try it. Do you have any final thoughts? I'm leaning towards using update. I'm also open to using set with merge.
Oh, I like update.
Okay. So we're gonna update. Did you already do it? Nope, we got it right here. Update. And instead of users, we're gonna set musicians doc musician. You know what?
Do we want this to lowercase?
Yes. I'm gonna do it up here. And I don't know what locale lowercase is, but it looks like that's what we're using.
Converts all alphabetic characters to lowercase, taking into account the host environment's current locale.
I don't think we need the locale. Yeah, we just want the... So now, since we set musician lowercase there, we should be able to remove any reference to lowercase everywhere else.
Okay, then docref.get.then. So we're getting the entire musician document. Do we want to add a new collection here? Collection called
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I think we said last time we actually just want to add we want to add user IDs into that collection.
Yeah, somehow.
And when I say
Like
user
IP
ID, I
addresses.
mean something identifiable about a browser. So
Yep.
identify user React JS. Identify returning. How to track user interactions. Hey, free code camp. React time, jQuery. Initiate your tracker, store of your events, create your event listener, reducer, event is an action, provide. What is a tracker? A tracker is a bag that holds tracking history along with some functions to listen. Tracker.on. Given callback will be called whenever event type. What is an event? User interaction. Okay, what is React Tracker? What is React Tracker? Let's see what this is. Track user interactions with React-based apps. Specific Google Tag Manager, Facebook Pixel. You can mainly... All right. Product click. I want to know if a user is returning. We might have to use cook. Can we get MAC address in a browser? Get MAC address React. Get the MAC address of the current machine you're on. So if someone visits this website on their phone and then they also visit it on their computer, it will save as two different sessions, and I don't know that there's a way for us to overcome that barrier.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
library will not run in web browsers on the client side, in Webpack and Browserify. It will only run on Node.js environment, which the web browser is not. Okay, so it will not, this does not look like what we want.
No.
Can we get an IP address? Public IP, get your public IP address very fast. Requires DNS records of OpenDNS, Google. It queries the DNS records, Google DNS and HTTP service to determine In browsers, it uses the excellent services through HTTPS. So console.log, and then we should get an IP address. And this has 109,000 weekly using public-IP, using public-IP with React. What does this one do? How many downloads does it have? 313, much lower. And it doesn't give much info. Public IP is for Node.js server, not for client side. To get public IP, make your own server and use public IP, then provide REST API for getting IP. Just use existing API and it will return client's IP to avoid cross-domain problem. You can use JSON. What do you... This one has a -1. That makes me not like it. I guess that's my IP. I don't know. Like, IP address, I think, is something that should not be shared. Is IP address PII? Yeah, is that personally identifiable information? IP address is PII. Okay, so if we're saving an IP address, that's personally identifiable information. But that's what we're trying to do, is get personally identifiable information to save. We're now getting into philosophy.
Identifiable. We're trying to get something that differentiates one person between another. We don't need to know anything about them. So, like, some kind of ID that all it says is that one person is different from another.
Right.
Doesn't sound like IP address we can use because we can identify that person using it. Is that correct?
It looks like we might technically be able to use IP address. I'm currently wondering if that is a practice that is good. They must now treat that data. We just have to treat the data in accordance with privacy rulings.
Privacy rule.
So we have to save that data, and we can't just like that. That's the kind of stuff that we can't let random people look at other people's IP addresses and look at a list of IP addresses, because that's info that hackers can use and other people can use to be malicious.
Right. Do we want to risk it? Do we want to get on that path?
What identifiable information can I get from client side rendering? Meeting is today at 1 p.m. Sent calendar invite to sherbeck@gmail.com. I'm sorry, 1:30 p.m. (1:30 p.m.), my bad. Okay, let's get back into this. Web apps, client-side rendering, SSR. We want to, your goal is to not have someone that lands on this web page twice store 2 readings of them discovering it from the same source.
Yeah. Well, we can have it recorded several times. We can still keep it simple and have it recorded every single time anybody goes on there. As long as we have some identifier for when we aggregate the data, we can say that we can be able to tell that that was the same person, so we don't have to count it.
Yeah, and I'm currently trying to figure out what piece of data we can use.
Right.
So I'm thinking, well, what information can we actually get from when someone lands on our website? What information are we able to get?
Because before, we've talked about something like this before with, but we used Amazon accounts.
Yes, yeah. So that when someone logs in, then we have our own login key, and that makes it so much easier. If they give us information, that's great. We're right now just having them land on a web page. They're not signing in. They're not giving us any info. We just want to take something from their computer or from their phone, and then use that to save.
Right.
Which what information can we access from the client? Okay. Don't forget about screen size, allowed cookies, allowed Java, mobile desktop language, data mining demo. Current resolution. Oh yeah, so here's all the info that I guess it's going to be able to get from my computer, supposedly. I'm not seeing it load any of the things. So that makes me initially doubt that this thing even works.
Do you have to enter in that information, or
do I have to what?
Do you have to enter in that information?
Chrome. I don't know what this is doing. Home user details, browser properties. What does this thing even do? What are you even doing over here? Okay. So it looks like we can get, here's most of the info. We can get time open, time zone, page on, which is the path name, a refer, previous sites, browser name, browser engine, browser version 1, browser language, browser online, browser platform, Java enabled, cookies, data, screen size, size available, pixel color, latitude, longitude. What? I don't know if we can actually get a latitude and longitude.
Yeah.
That feels like something they have to give us permission to do.
That sounds illegal.
I think that in that case, that's like what Google Maps does, and then it pops up a little box that says, hey, someone's trying to access your location, and then they have to click yes or no.
Except, allow block. But we don't even.
And we want it to be simpler than that. We don't want them to have to click anything. We just want to collect and store it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Date last visit, refer, time spent.
Do we want to come back to this later after we have the Firebase collection down and ready?
Okay. Yes. So let's store the data to Firebase. Okay, I think this is why I was looking it up, is because we wanted to add to the collection. We wanted to add the user ID, but maybe we just do timestamp. Timestamp is the key.
Sure.
So that's how we're doing it for the other data, right? The other data that you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So question. We're having the doc ref here be the exact document that we're getting to.
Yeah.
And then here we're going docref.get, so we're getting that reference, and then we're saying then go to db.collection.doc again.
Yeah. So this is helpful if we want to check if the document already exists. So we would want to get it first if we want to check, hey, has this user already been here? If so, don't do anything. But I hear you, and I agree. I don't think that we need to. I don't think that we need to do this. So docref dot. We're gonna do this, right? Boop. We're gonna cut all this out. Take all of you. And now we paste it right there.
Okay, cool.
Docref.update, collection discoverability. So you cannot update a, this is right now a reference to a collection. It is not a reference to a document. So then we want .doc timestamp So let's get a const timestamp. Const now equals new date. Const timestamp equals now dot get I think milliseconds is what we typically use.
I think new date it already is in milliseconds. I think now is already.
Okay, let's try it. So we
We
want
can rename
the
it.
doc
Do you want
to
to
be
timestamp?
now. What'd you say?
I was gonna say, did you want to rename that as timestamp or no?
Sure. Collection doc, and now we will update, adding in social media, artist, timestamp, and then unique ID will be blank. We don't need to set state. We don't need to do any of this.
Mm-hmm.
After data is saved to Firebase. And then log the case of errors. Okay, so now when we land, we should be creating a Firebase reference. Let's see if we do. I want to reload the page on some random musicians so that we don't. Artist is not defined on line 30.
Oh.
Musician.
Is it this? No, it's musician. Yeah.
Now, what was your question?
Just do you want to do dashboard testing?
Get off! Don't do it. Dash. Hyphen testing.
I'll take a look if it did anything.
Are you checking Firebase?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it did anything to Malvimu.
Okay.
Hmm. Does a space in a name just get replaced with a dash?
I don't think so.
Okay, because dashboard testing has a space in it between the two. I don't know how it normally.
We should.
You
Yeah.
can-
Okay. So space is %20.
Okay.
All right. So it's a none type, a custom date object.
You just need to convert it to string, I think.
Okay. You got it.
I think. Is that what it requires? Its first argument to be type of non-empty string, but it was a date. And that is where?
It's where it's timestamp. So it doesn't like this. This is a date object.
Is there a two-string method we can do? Or as integer? Or two integer?
Let's see what it does. Let me know if you've seen anything in Firebase. It looks like it loaded.
It does not look like it. It did not create a new collection called yeah.
Yeah, we're not getting the success.
Is there an error in the console?
Firebase error, no document to update.
Okay, so it sounds like we do have to
here's
create
what it's trying to save it as.
What?
Do you see this reference right here? This is what now is.
Yep.
That's what you want?
That's going to be the key, right?
I feel like this is not how we typically do it. I feel like
Okay.
it's typically in milliseconds. Agree or disagree?
Yes, should be milliseconds.
Okay. to string. We want get milliseconds. But it was 787.
Requires its first argument to be. I guess it's now a number, but it wants it to be a string. So you could do get milliseconds .toString.
Yeah. Get the milliseconds of a date. I actually don't. Okay, where are we actually using this? Because we should be checking there instead of just guessing. We do it inside of...
Create the timestamp here.
Where do we create a timestamp? We do it inside of the actual musician code. So let's go to the musician code and GitLab. And inside of here, I believe it's inside of src. No, it'll be in Python functions. app.py. Down at the bottom. Request.get timestamp. Request is, oh, we get a timestamp from Jovo. So that's how we get, okay, so let's look up date timestamp. JavaScript. Get time. Let's try get time.
Do a get time.
Yes.
And that returns.
Get time returns the value, the time value in milliseconds.
Cool.
Save that. Let's see what we got now. And then this is probably still returning a number. Are we still returning it? Yeah, we're still returning a number, so this needs to be .toString.
Okay. Let's just well. Oh wait. Did it do it?
No, it looks like we got no document to update. So we'll do set merge.
Okay.
Set, comma, merge is true. I think that's the right way to do it. I'm going to check the Firebase docs. Merge colon true. Merge colon true. Yeah, I think I did it right. Alright, so now let's see. You find anything inside of Firebase? 'Cause I do not see any errors.
Yeah.
You want to share your screen and show us what you got real quick?
I haven't gotten anything.
Oh.
Did it say it went through?
It does not say that it didn't go through. But I did not. But I didn't get the alert that I was expecting if it did save it correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in Firebase.
Okay, let's try refreshing.
So you're sure we don't need to create a new document after?
There it is, success. Let me know if it saved it.
What'd you do?
Just Control-Shift-R, cleared the cookies and refreshed.
Okay.
Did it save it?
It does not look like it. I'll share my screen.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. Okay, well, that's interesting. Dashboard %20 testing.
Cool. So we
That's
will
where
need to replace the %20 with, that's next step. So let's change the %20.
Okay. Right, yeah, but I'm interested how we would get dashboard testing.
So the URL is fine. What we're doing right now, let me share the screen again so that you can see.
Yeah, I gotcha.
This will be an easier fix. The fact that we have it in Firebase is the big step. Can you see screen?
Yep.
So we just need to right here, we need to use some regex to replace any %20 with a space.
So is there a dot replace method?
Yes, there is a dot replace method. Replace all spaces JavaScript. I'm only doing, replace all spaces in the string with a plus. So we just do replace, and then here's the, okay. So we'll do a split join. The split turns it into an array, and then the join joins each element of an array.
So split it by %20. So we don't want to do replace?
Okay, we'll try. I'll keep looking. You're right. I grabbed. No, you're right. I just grabbed the first thing I saw. There you go. This is what we want. You're right. This is going to be a better method. So keep going. Oh,
Like that?
Yeah, that looks perfect. Good work.
Or is it the other way around?
No. That looks perfect.
Okay.
Checking. We got a success. Let me know if dashboard testing has it.
Yep.
I'm going to let
There
you share your screen. That way we can see it.
So dashboard testing. Now we have a discoverability collection. Do you want to get rid of the set merge and set it to update instead?
Tell me why
you think
that's
that
the right way.
What?
Why do you think that that's the right way? Do you remember
I
what the
don't know.
problem was with using update?
Did we find out it was some other problem, or was it the update? Was it changing it to set merge that fixed it?
So the problem with update was you can't run update if the document does not exist.
Gotcha.
So set merge has the exact same functionality of update, and in addition, if the document does not exist, it will create the document.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, we got the timestamp integer there. We got the timestamp here.
Nice. I'm going to throw some more data in there. I'm going to give you a couple data points while you're looking at the page.
Cool. Got one. It's from Twitter.
Yep.
Got one from TikTok. YouTube. Facebook. Another Facebook. Another Facebook.
Cool. So now I've given you some data. I'll go back to sharing. So I think we can make another commit, store data to Firestore. We are now storing data in Firestore. Git status, git add musicians website. I store social media data to Firestore in collection discoverability, right? I'll do the whole route.
In collection. Yep. Discoverability is a collection. So this is creating a new document with the title of the timestamp every time someone goes to the page. Ooh. Yeah, so right now we have all the functionality to make a visualization, but without differentiating between anybody. So if someone goes there 10 times, we'll count them 10 times.
Yeah, so the last two things I see on this are, one, check for returning users. Try to make sure that, yeah, like you just said, we don't want them to, like I just refreshed the page 3 times and it stored 3 Facebook entries, to be able to prevent that. And then the other one, updating the component with helpful info. Right now, it's just an empty page, so to update it with something that's visually appealing and is also helpful for the musician, you know, something that gives the musicians a reason to send them here.
Right.
Something that gives the musicians a reason to send them here. Now it's 11:30. We wanted this to go until about noon. Do we want to call this the stopping point for today, now that it's functional? And we can merge this, because this is its own branch. We could merge this right now in the master. Do we want to... Wondering what we would like to spend the rest of this time on that would be valuable. You have everything that you need in order to start putting in data to be able to test your visualization and see if it works, right?
Yes. So, yes, but it won't be accurate because we can't differentiate between people.
Okay, so it sounds like you would like to just chat a little bit more about ways that we can try to make it more accurate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. So let's figure out how we want to do that. What information can I get from client? And then there was that couple of those libraries, this visitor.js. Personalize your website to increase conversion rates. It's the script you need, how it works. A small piece of JavaScript that provides you with information on your site visitors so you can target them with custom tailored content. Welcome visitors from Australia with good day. Refer returning visitors to your tutorial section. This seems to be your first visit. Welcome. Yes, so okay, date of last visit. How do we get started? So let's visitor.js npm. Visitor.js npm. 0 weekly downloads. It looks like it had traffic, but it looks like it does not now. So let's go to this other.
Is this the same thing that you found before?
You're asking a great before, as in like 20 seconds ago.
The page you were just at, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You're asking a good question. Browser, time zone, country. Well, I guess we could just use their. What's their plans and pricing? Requests per month. Okay. So we need a key, and it looks like they will use our key. They'll use our key to bill us, and I don't see a free version.
Does Firebase have any functionalities to differentiate between who visits the website? Like in the analytics? When I go to the analytics dashboard and it immediately has users in the last 30 minutes.
Say that again?
So I go to the analytics dashboard on Firebase and immediately I see users, a graph of the users, numbers of users in the last 30 minutes.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Inside of the Musician AI project?
So, yep.
I'm checking now. I didn't know that analytics was set up like that.
How well do you retain users?
So that sounds like it's pulling info from Google Analytics, which we should have integrated Google Analytics into the site. Where is hosting? No, you said you went to analytics, not to hosting.
Right. User properties. Create your first, identify different attributes of users to use as building blocks for you. Learn more. You seeing anything?
Currently, it looks like a lot of the tracking is currently done using Google Analytics. Google Analytics stores cookies, and those cookies
Can we use cookies?
I think Google's already doing it.
Okay.
So we might not need to. We might just be able to access Google Analytics Identify. Analytics.user. Let's I guess try this.
Does that look like something we can use?
Yeah, it looks like it might be something we can use. Analytics has 2,900, and it's been here since 2019, later 2019. Library exports to Google Analytics plugin and standalone methods for any project make it easier to interact with Google Analytics. And we just need the tracking ID from Google Analytics. So let's give it a shot. Okay.
Okay.
Because I've made a commit, so it's not like I'm gonna overwrite anything. We can just reset.
Mm-hmm.
Install Analytics. We will need to crash the server, so to speed everything up right now, I'm gonna crash it. Ay, come on, sweets. Water break.
Yeah. Hopefully this works.
Yeah, this works, it'll be sweet.
So it looks like there's just some methods that we can use to access something unique about the user.
Yes, we should be able to plug in the tracking ID that we got in Google Analytics. And once we plug in the tracking ID, we should be able to access.
So will we just be able to record that tracking ID into Firebase?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Did I just copy the same thing? No, this is the next thing. All right, so those are the two installs we needed. We had to do Analytics and then Google Analytics. So now we want to import Analytics. We want to import both of these. So let's go ahead and copy this. And we're going to put this in social media discoverability. What did we change? Why is something unsaved?
Oh, I just changed it from tracking ID from user ID to tracking ID.
That's the only thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Boop. Paste those imports. And Google Analytics. So now I need the tracking ID. I'm going to check if it's in our index.html. Tag manager ID. So here's our tracking ID from Google Analytics.
Okay.
So
That's
I should
our
just be able
tracking
to
ID.
paste it right here. But that does not look like the same number. So I'm going to open up our Google Analytics, not on the screen that I'm doing the streaming from.
Yeah.
So that way, I never know what data is private. Analytics.google.com. You can still see my screen, right?
Yep.
Okay. The streamers cannot. If you're watching this and you're frustrated that I'm not sharing, I would love to share. I don't know if this is I don't know if this is information I shouldn't be sharing. And so this does not say that we have any users right now, but I wonder why that is, because I'm on the site right now.
You're on AlexaForMusicians.com or localhost?
Can you go to AlexaForMusicians.com? The tracking ID is also existing on localhost while I'm running it.
Okay.
So let me know when you're on AlexaForMusicians.com.
I am on AlexaForMusicians.com. Is this something we have to set up somehow?
I should have already set it up. It should already be set up. But it does not, I'm not seeing it. So, go away, Firebase linking. We already linked. So where is the... Click admin. Okay, click admin. Once we go to admin, we select an account and then we select a property. Voice first, musician AI. Tracking info. So I don't see the tracking info. Select an account from the account column. Account, we did that. Under property, click tracking info, tracking code. Under property, click tracking info. Stream configurations are in Firebase. Web. Website tracking, global site tag.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's recording anybody to ever come to the website.
Yeah. Yeah. We might just be using the wrong data because it looks like whatever's linked to Firebase is not correct, but we do have this interactive album data, which does seem to be pulling, and it says that there's one user on there right now. If you see my screen,
Okay, yeah.
I am seeing
And
data.
where are you looking at that from?
I'm sorry?
Where are you looking at that at?
Google Analytics.
Sorry, what's the data? What data is that showing?
This is showing the website data.
Okay, and why is that
Tracking
different from?
info. Okay, tracking code. So what we wanted is the tracking codes. And okay, so here's our tracking ID. And that is
Okay.
what we already were about to put there. So I guess someone else could put that in if they really wanted to take that from us and store. And then I don't know that the app name matters, so let's keep moving. Let's just see what else we can do with this. Where's the actual library? Here's the library. Okay, so we put this in. Track a page view, analytics.page. I want identify a visitor. Okay, so we want identify. So I just want to say user. User data is analytics.user. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Boop. Alert. No, let's log. Console.log. User. And then after that, I have a feeling this will be an object. Alright, saved. Let's rerun the server. 13 minutes. Hopefully this gives us data.
Something, yeah. Definitely a start. If it does show up. Because then after this, we want to get the data for people who visit a specific link or a specific page.
You can do it. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, we're trying to, I guess while we are waiting for this to load, let's keep looking over here. Get all user data. That's what we want. We want to get all user data. Okay. So we'll go /getting -started /testing per space dashboard /LinkedIn. Is it testing dashboard or dashboard testing?
Dashboard testing. Oops.
get started, maybe not getting started.
Yeah, it's get hyphen started.
Still got that success log. Let's inspect and see if we are logging.
I got it. It's recorded as LinkedIn.
Yeah. We should be logging user and then user data if it's doing it correctly. And I did not see user. And then here's the object. Anonymous ID, traits, user ID. So we have an anonymous ID. Let's see if anonymous ID is the same. It ends in F2CC right here. Let's see if F2CC stays the same when we refresh. F2CC.
Alright. Hopefully it's...
This might... now if I
okay.
Control Shift F, that should clear all my cookies. Let's see if it still remembers me. But regardless, we do have an ID that has persisted at least through one page refresh, which is more than what we had before. F2CC. Okay, so that time I cleared my cookies and it looks like it still has me. So I think we should be able to get... Now the question is, can you give me more information on this analytics user?
Just save that ID, can't we?
Traits.company. You said what?
Can we just save that ID in Firebase?
Yeah, we can. I just didn't know if there was a... We'll set a new anonymous user ID. Okay, yeah, let's just grab that user ID like you're saying. So we grab it from, should just be able to go dot anonymous ID. So let's go user data dot anonymous ID and let's see what it gives us. And you're already on top of it. I think the I is capitalized and the D is lowercase. If you're trying to save it.
Yep.
But we'll find out. Yes, it is lowercase d, and I was able to log
it.
it.
Cool. I just resaved it.
So
is your page refreshing?
It's working on it.
Okay.
And my next question is going to be, do we want to set is called with invalid data, but maybe it's still waiting for your save to render. Now my next question is going to be, do we still want these to save as timestamp? Because if it's saved as timestamp, then one user will still have multiple timestamps in their collection. Or do we want the key to be the user ID? Because there can only be one user ID, so then we'll be updating the same object or just not saving if that object exists. You know what I'm saying?
So say that again.
Right now, we're saving inside of Firebase, inside of the collection of discoverability, we're saving timestamps.
Right.
So one user can land on this page multiple times and leave timestamps. If we make the key the user ID instead of a timestamp, then when we try to save the data, we'll be updating an existing data source. I guess what I'm trying to ask you is, how would you like this to update now that we have an ID that we want to be including? Do you want this to be the key, or how do we want to check in the last 6 minutes?
I think it's a good idea to put the ID as the key.
Okay.
The thing is, so if we do save that as a key, if the person, say a person gets on there a second time, how will that change that document? Will it override
the initial way that I had it was where we try to get the document first, and if it exists, we do nothing. If it does not exist, then we save it.
Okay. Sounds good.
So we get, instead of timestamp.getID.toString, it will be I'm going to make this a new variable, so you will want to change what you're storing. In this
Also,
user
the unique ID is stored in Firebase correctly.
I'm sorry?
The unique ID is stored in Firebase correctly.
Excellent. I'm changing your reference to user ID.
Cool.
So now down here, the doc that we're going to get is going to not be timestamp.toString. It will be user ID. Okay, that'll work.
Great. And then we say if docref already exists, do nothing else, do this.
Yes. So one sec. Docref dot get dot then. I think that's how we do it. I'm going back to checking create artist to remind myself how we do it over here. Docref dot get dot then. Okay, I'm gonna copy this again. Easier to just copy for me. If the doc exists, then we know that not artist name is already taken. User already recorded, not new user. Otherwise, we do what you were trying to do, or what we already have, which is the set function. So we put this right up here, else doc.
What happened to all the other data?
What other data?
That didn't. Oh, okay. That data.
So first we're getting this doc ref, and we're seeing if the doc exists, then we know that the user already has recorded. It's not a new user. Otherwise, we set.
Okay. So now when you. Oh, actually, no. Next time you go in there, it should set a new document, and then the next time you go in there after that, it should say already recorded. Firebase, yep, we now have a new document with your ID.
Cool. Now I'm going to refresh it, and we should get, I think it's an alert. Maybe it's a console log. It's an alert.
It's an alert.
Okay.
Maybe on the alert.
I did not get an alert. We got 6. I think we might be alerting too many things.
It just updated the timestamp.
It's updating the timestamp.
Yeah, so I guess it's updating.
Okay, where's the success? I'm going to console. No, I'm just going to delete that. If doc.exists, I'm just going to alert doc exists plus doc dot exists. Nope, exist. Maybe it should be exists.
Doc exists plus. So that would be a true false. Cool.
Undefined.
Still updated the timestamp. It said it was undefined?
Yeah, it's saying that it's undefined, which makes sense that it's going to there exist. Exist. It should be exists with an S. Does that mean that we have it wrong over in create user? Or did I copy it wrong? Create artist might have it wrong. Yeah, it just says exist over here, so this does need to be updated to exists. Interesting.
Let me know when you reload.
Roger. Going back over here. Doc exists is true. I'm going to delete that alert now for doc exists.
Cool. And it did not update anything.
Okay,
on
let's see if we get that
Firebase.
alert of user already recorded, not new user. User already recorded, not a new user. Now I'm going to change this to Twitter. But now what happens if user already recorded? What's another test user I can try? Because my next question was, what if I do a different musician?
Do you have another computer? Can you go on your mobile and do? Oh no, you can't because that's localhost.
What's another musician?
Well, if you,
That's not a production musician.
I can pull all this code into mine, run it on my computer, and do it.
Okay, I'm just trying to test another musician. What's another musician I can type in up here?
Oh, let's do. Let's see. Let's find a testing one. There's one called testing, all caps. Well, no, that's all caps.
Okay, so over here it should allow me to save that because it's my first time going to this musician. So even though I'm already existing, I've been on this website before, I've not been to this musician.
Yep, just went to testing and it recorded. Said artist testing, social media, Twitter at 12:01, unique ID F2CC.
Okay, now when I go to YouTube, it says it has not been recorded because the user already exists. So now I'm going to change this from an alert. We don't want to alert the user. We'll just console log it.
Sounds good.
So now we're console logging that piece of information. And I want to say we'll check it in the merge request, but I think we can go ahead and push this up to production and get it live. And that way we can test on more devices because there shouldn't be a lot of differences. Get status. Get add package.json.
What I was saying before is that
What?
I do want to make sure it it gives me a different ID than it gives you.
Sure. Get add, get commit -m. I add Google Analytics to check if user is returning or new. Get push origin suite social media discoverability. I didn't need to do that. Get status. Get add src components. Create artist. Get commit -m. I update exist. Check to determine if artist already exists. Get status. Get add src components social media. Get commit -m. I only store social media discoverability data if Google Analytics user ID is has not already been stored in a musician. We're data mining. Get push origin suite social media discoverability, and I think that's everything. Get status. All right, if you would like to run it locally, you can pull down the changes to suite social media discoverability and then run it locally and see if it gives that to you. Meanwhile, I'm going to be opening up a merge request on GitLab.
So I'll just do a git pull origin suites social media discoverability. Cool. Now should have, yep. And then I do a npm start. Nope, not yet. Waiting for that to boot up. I'll go ahead and share my screen.
You're sharing your screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, gotta do a npmi, right?
Yeah, you'll need npmi.
So. Is this it? After this works, we basically all good.
Yeah, we'll review the merge request and then we'll deploy it to production.
Cool.
Musicians are in where fans come from. Twitter.
Cool. And I guess the last thing we need to do, all the backend is set up, so we just have to create the landing page right there to make sure.
Yeah,
to make sure that's all
yes.
presentable.
So that it's not just a blank page.
Yep.
Okay, the merge request has been submitted and the link is inside of Slack. I'm coming back to check out your screen real quick because I have not seen what you're sharing yet. All right, so you are still loading?
Yep.
So if you're watching this and you're curious of what we ended up deciding, we're using Google Analytics. We've been using Google Analytics on the website. So Google Analytics already stores cookies on users. So we are leveraging those attributes from Google Analytics to determine if a user has already landed on our getting started page.
Boom, a new eye. That's you. That's me, 1208. And then check the console. Did we get rid of the other console logs?
Which console log are you thinking of?
Did we have any? Should I be seeing any right now?
No,
other
if you
than
refresh,
this?
you should see a console log that says user already exists.
Cool.
And it says it down below, I believe.
User already recorded, not a new user. Let's try doing a new user. Awesome. Looks like that's all working perfectly.
Cool. Want to review the merge request?
Yes, we don't care. Everything else seems to be working correctly since yeah, it doesn't get in the way of anything else. So yeah, I'll go ahead and start presenting. Did you send that in Slack?
Yes, sir. In the Alexa for Musicians channel. That way everyone else could be aware.
Just give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, but definitely read through it and see if there's things we forgot.
Oh,
Go to the changes tab
you,
again.
okay.
Yeah, this is small. This is easy to read in less than 5 minutes and see what the changes are and where
Yep.
there's a
Okay.
package.json change, there's a create artist change, a nav bar change, created a new. The most code is in the social media discoverability, and
Yeah,
then
everything
the
else is the same.
main.js is updated. I think we're good.
I just gave it a thumbs up.
I gave it a thumbs up. I'm gonna I'm gonna merge it because if I don't merge it now, I'm gonna forget. And now I will share my screen and then I'm gonna deploy. There it is here. Resume my presentation. Oh, can you see my screen?
I can see your OBS. That's it. Now I can.
npm run build. And then both of us can check by trying to run this on our phones.
Alexa for musicians.
Yeah, we'll go to dashboard testing and we'll both do it from our phones and see if it adds 2 new readings.
Cool.
And that'll be the last thing. Then we'll get out of here. So right now we're 11 minutes longer than we planned.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm extremely pleased. I did not. Usually, we don't get this kind of luck.
And then you can play around with it. So your testing dashboard, if you're playing around with that later, you can try to aggregate it and see if your pie chart works.
Yeah, I mean, I think that'll take a couple minutes to make something simple.
And after this, the only other visualization, well, I guess 2, but the only other visualization that you've already built that we haven't provided data for is where you located address-wise,
Yeah,
like
the
city-wise.
map.
So we
Hmm.
can do that in 2 different ways, and we can even do both of the ways. On the website that the user is visiting, when they go to get started, we can ask them that question in a text box, and then when they hit enter, it saves that in the same place that it'll save where they're coming from social media wise.
Yeah,
And that would be an easy and quick and dirty way. That's super easy. The alternative is to ask them in the voice assistant, which is going to require adding a new script that the musician has to read from, building it into the Alexa skill, testing that in the full pipeline for when new musicians create it. That one would definitely take more work, and that one they would answer by voice. So then there might be some issues of Alexa mishearing the location that they're saying. I feel like the easiest way is to expand the website that we already have, the page that we built
yeah,
today, and put that in.
yep. So we'll be taking the data from people learning about their skill versus people actually using their skill.
That is a good point. Because the intention is to figure out where people are using the skill, right?
Yeah,
Okay, heard. Heard. And we'll do it. Then we will do it. That's no. We'll just set up another time like this.
yep.
Another like. I think we
You think
started
it'll take
recording.
you think it'll take a longer time?
Um. There were a lot more unknowns in what we did today than there will be in the next one. This was a
Okay,
lot of data mining that I wasn't already aware of. So no, to answer your question directly, I think it'll take about the same amount of time. I think it'll take
cool.
about the same amount of time.
Okay. Um, what day do you want to do that on? You want to do that this week, or do you want to do that like Monday next week?
I think this will be a next week thing because
Sounds good.
um, I have a lot of other work.
Sounds good.
Right now, it has taken. I would say that the extra time has all been around my technology moving slowly. Because we've spent I think I just checked at 12:11 and we were building, and now we're trying to deploy, and it's taking another couple minutes.
Hmm.
I'm gonna start heading to the page on my phone.
I wonder if it'll give a different ID to our computers
It
when we
should.
go to electricformusicians.com compared to localhost.
It should. It definitely should.
Okay.
Alexaformusicians.com /get -started /dashboard space testing what social do I want it to be? I want it to be this one. I see the
All right,
page
I
on my
got you.
screen. You mind sharing your screen to show us the Firebase?
Okay, yeah. So this is the one you just put in here at 12:15, your phone, and I believe, yeah, this is the one I just did at 12:15 from my phone.
And you did YouTube and I did Facebook?
Yep.
Cool.
And then this was me from my computer before. This was you from your computer. I'm gonna try it again on this computer, see if it gets it different.
Oh,
It doesn't really have any significance. I'm just curious.
I think this should say that you've already been there, and the reason I think that is because the Google Analytics tag, which stores all the cookies, is the same tag, and it will know that this is the same computer.
Yeah.
It's the Google Analytics tag
Yeah,
that's changing.
I see that.
Now you should be able to right-click on your page and inspect. And
Mhm.
Did it do a new one?
It did a new one.
Interesting. What was your first one from your computer?
This one.
Interesting. Very interesting. I was incorrect. Why was I incorrect? My prediction is that it would not save an extra entry. Now we're getting, I might be talking too much. We got an extra entry. I didn't think it was going to put an extra entry because you're still on the same computer and it's still the same Google Analytics tag.
Mm-hmm.
It did.
We just have to wonder, like, where's the analytics tag coming from? How are we getting the tag? And should it be that does it make sense that was different, or is that something that we should keep an eye on?
I think we're in a great place right now. That is such a small little.
It seems like. I mean, I think if we look into that, hopefully that was supposed to happen.
I'm happy with what we built today.
Me too.
Thank you for jumping into the pair programming and not just sitting behind, but actively helping with the code. That's one of the benefits of pair programming. I'm going to go ahead and shut off the live stream. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you have more questions for Arthur Sweetman, you can find his LinkedIn profile in the description below, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Please message him. He's been an amazing engineer with our team so far. And if you want to learn more about the collection that we're doing, you can message us at VoiceFirstAI, at VoiceFirstAI on any social media site. This is Sweets signing off. Arthur, thanks again for joining us.